Good morning, Aileen here. Happy Friday. And I'm a bit chilled out this morning. I'm actually all chilled out because I'm just after a session on my aqua bike. So this is my new obsession at the moment because the weather is so hot here. It's like 32 degrees most days. So I try and get my exercise in the morning. The forest is just too hot these mornings. I don't often get time to go down to the sea these mornings because my boys like me to cycle to school with them, and actually it's one of my favorite things every day. So I love to cycle to them with them to school as well. So that's what I've been doing. I've been in the pool. I've been using my aqua bike. I oftentimes listen to a podcast or listen to a book or listen to something, while I'm working out, and it just chills me out. I don't get hot. I don't get bothered. I don't get fussed. So it's a fantastic way to start the day. Now, I'm kind of just waffling on here a bit until I see some eyes joining me. So if you're joining me live here this morning, say hi, say where you're watching me from. And if you feel up to it, tell me what prompted you to join me live this morning. Do you have a particular problem around visibility? What do you struggle with? I'd love to know. So thank you for being here. I appreciate your time. And this morning, I'm going to be talking about the 8 reasons a powerful brand will make you and your clients successful. Now, before I launch into that, I want to introduce myself because I have had a lot of new people joining my community and a lot of new people listening in. So I'm Aileen Lane. I'm a certified image professional with the Association of Image Consultants International, and I'm also a business mentor to personal stylists. I am the author and founder of the Six Figure Stylist program. And in this program, I help personal stylists create, market, and sell a high ticket online program so that they have consistent 10K months and so that they don't have to work all the time. And I'm passionate about that. I'm really, really passionate about that. Number one is because I'm a recovering workaholic. And number 2 is that life just becomes so much sweeter, so much more fun, so much more enjoyable when you take downtime, when you do all the things you love, like me cycling to school with the boys, like me doing my aqua bike, like me reading and listening to podcasts and buying myself nice flowers, etc. So I am a huge advocate for creating financial freedom in your business, but also time freedom. Okay, and one of the ways that you can do that is to get better at attracting clients and being really clear in your message. And to do that, you need to be visible. You need to be the face of your brand. So that leads me into what I'm going to talk about this morning, which is the reasons why a powerful personal brand will make you more successful. Now, I have to take you back to the start of when I start hearing the term personal brand for the first time. The truth is, I had no idea what people were talking about because when I started out as an image consultant, it definitely wasn't a word that I heard. I guess there wasn't as much information online. It kind of, as far as I can remember, and correct me if I'm wrong, it wasn't in image consulting training around then. There wasn't a lot about personal brand. So it wasn't until much later that I became kind of familiar with the term. And honestly, I didn't really know what it meant. Maybe I thought it was like, Nike or the big companies have a personal brand, but how could you have a personal brand as a small company? So, I mean, obviously I was implementing parts of a personal plan, but it wasn't something that I was hugely familiar with or even knew how to go about. So this morning, I want to kind of simplify what that means, what a personal brand means, because the word itself, you must be aware that a lot of people out there may have no idea what a personal brand is. So if you're a personal stylist and you're talking about personal brand, are you sure that your audience knows what you're talking about? That's the first question I'll ask you, because maybe they don't know what a personal brand is. Maybe they're like me. So I think it's really important that whatever terms you're using, whatever words you're using in your marketing, you have to be clear, and you have to make sure that your client understands, or potential clients understand, what these words mean. So for me, your personal brand means the impression somebody has of you after they meet you. So they may meet you online, or they may meet you offline in like a networking event or something, and people come away with an impression. And then that impression, as they meet you more and more time, that impression is kind of cemented. So for instance, maybe somebody thinks, you're really friendly. Maybe somebody thinks, you're really approachable. Or maybe conversely, somebody thinks, oh my God, that one is full of herself. And, so people, that is your personal brand, believe it or not. Now, I know your logo and your fonts and your colors and all that come in, but honestly, people remember people, and people remember how you make them feel. And that to me is your personal brand. And we all have words to describe people. So if I meet somebody and I'm telling my husband later, I met this person, he'll ask me, what were they like? That is your personal brand. So you probably have one with your friends, and you possibly have one in a business role. But honestly, as a small business, the two kind of merge together. They're kind of one and the same. And the more you can feel into that a little bit, the more connections you will make with people. So really, everything that you post online, every comment that you make online is really creating your personal brand, the impression people have of you. And we all know, these people online who, go around, attacking people or leaving negative comments, or, being very confrontational. Or is that the impression that you want to leave with your clients? Or then conversely, we have people who come on and they only post pictures of their cat, on social media. So what is your impression of that person? Your impression is, they love cats, they adore cats, and, they're probably a very nice, caring person. But how beneficial is that to your business? Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't post a picture of your cat. Of course, you can post a picture of your cat, but it shouldn't be all about your cats, unless you're selling something related to cats, if you know what I mean. So you have to be very, very clear in what you are creating and how you're putting it online, and the impression you're leaving. Because, managing people's impression of you in person and online, it's really important, so that people understand that, because when you post the right kind of content, people know what you stand for. They know what your values are. They know what you're about, your mission. What's your mission online? If you're just posting, pictures of cats all day, what is your mission? Or if you're being really confrontational, what is your mission? Is your mission to show people up and highlight other people's problems? So you have to be really, really careful about making sure that your audience knows what you're about. What are you on there for? And how you can uniquely help them. That is a key part. And you have to keep telling them over and over again how you can help them. And that then becomes your personal brand. I know that from the very early days when I was doing color analysis, and I got a really good reputation for that, people called me the color lady. Oh, that's that Irish color lady. That was my brand. Really, that was my brand. And you can change your brand over time. Of course you can. Now I'm a business mentor and my brand is a little bit different. But still, people know me as probably the business mentor that used to be a personal stylist. She knows the styling industry really well. She used to be a color consultant. She used to train color consultants. Actually, she still trains color consultants to get online. So that is my brand. And my brand is also my personality, how I operate, when people walk away, they probably say, she's not a waffler. She will probably tell you how it is. And that's my personal brand. That's what I want you to walk away with. Okay. So today I'm going to talk about the 8 reasons why personal brand is so important. And if you have a pen and paper, I want you to take these down, and I want you to really, really think about what your personal brand is. And of course, you can use this information to help your clients as well, because they'll want to know why personal brand is important. They'll want to know what personal brand is, because many of you are helping personal stylists to create their personal brands. Now, I know many of you do that through clothes. Clothes is just one way, to be honest. All of the other ways are really important as well. How they speak, how they present themselves, what they focus on, what their strengths are, what their values are. So you can help them in that area too. And your consultation becomes much, much more valuable to them. It becomes something that they know that, when they invest in this personal branding with you, that it is an investment into themselves, and that they will get a return on this investment very, very quickly. So if they spend $1,000 with you, they know they will make this back over and over again, because people will know, like, and trust them easier, etc., etc. So the 8 reasons why you and your ideal client need to work on your personal brand and get really clear on what your personal brand is. So number 1, opportunity finds you. You want people to stop, look, and find out who you are with your personal brand. You do not want do not want to blend into the background. If you blend into the background, people are not going to check you out. They're not going to, friend you and get onto your profile and attend your events and do all the things that you want them to do. So when you put yourself out there and you have a very clear personal brand, people will find you. So for instance, if somebody is looking for a business mentor, for instance, if a personal stylist is looking for a business mentor, when they look at my profile, they know that's exactly what I do. That's what I talk about. The content I put out there, that's what it's about. It's very, very clear that this is my mission. This is my purpose on social media. I'm not there to be friends with everyone, honestly. Friends are lovely, but to me, social media is for business, and that's how I use social media. I would not be on social media if I wasn't promoting my business. So I think sometimes there can be confusion around that. My friends are on social media, so how can I promote my business? Well, that's why we're on social media. I would tend to use WhatsApp or a private portal if I want to have closer relationships with my friends or with my family. So one thing that I heard very early when I started to promote myself online, somebody said, your face is your fortune. And that has stuck with me, because I see lots of people, they put other people, pictures of other people on their posts, or they put like amazing graphics, but just graphics. One of the things I learned is that your face is your fortune, and people will remember you very, very quickly if you put pictures of yourself up there. My most favorite posts are always my selfies. even though I found it really difficult at the start to do that, I found that my engagement went up and people started to know me. They started to recognize me. They started to know what I did because I showed my face. If I was just putting up graphics, people are less inclined to stop. Even small, tiny babies, if you put a face in front of them versus a picture in front of them, you immediately get their attention much, much quicker. We are programmed to look at faces and to connect with faces and connect with eyes. So one of the ways you can connect with your audience really quickly is to put selfies up there and do videos so that, people can immediately see you're the face of your business. When I come and buy a package, I'm working with you. I'm not working with this faceless thing. So opportunity finds you when you put yourself out there. Number 2, your people, your tribe will find you. Are you showing some personality when you show up online? People kind of go down the route of my personal brand are these beautiful colors. I'm going to, present this beautiful picture of how I am and this aspirational lifestyle that I think my ideal clients want. And their brand becomes this glossy thing that maybe their ideal client does not relate to. So are you showing some personality? I think it's really important to show your personality, show who you truly are, show what your values are, so that people with those same values, people with those same desires, people with that same lifestyle will want to work with you. So, if I was posting pictures of, fancy yachts or, fancy holidays or whatever, it's all well and good. A certain amount of that is okay. But really, my life is that of a working person, a mom, a dog owner, a daughter, a wife. And I show those parts of me online because I want my ideal client to connect with me, to see that I'm just a normal person, and I'm a normal person that has achieved what I have through the systems that I use, but also through my values, through my own personality. So I think you need to own, your personality. Are you a bit bossy? Have you a dry wit? Are you introverted? Own it. You do not need to be like somebody else. You can be exactly like yourself, whether that's introverted and quiet, whether it's bossy and outgoing, whether it's sexy, whatever your thing is, own it and show it to your audience. We don't have to show everything. Of course we don't have to show everything. Like, I rarely talk about my relationship with my husband or post pictures of us together online. I feel that's something private, and every now and again, yes, I will allude to it, or I will talk about it maybe more in my private coaching. But that's not something that I have chosen to share online. And I think that's the other thing. You have a choice over what you share, but you still have to show people, as a small business, who you are, what your personality is. You don't have to air dirty linen. You don't have to do anything like that, but you do have to show people who you are. So own it, make your personality part of your brand. Many of the people that I have ended up working with, I just love their humor, or I love their dry wit, or I love that, they were just really, really honest. I love that about them. That's why I paid thousands of dollars to work with them, because I liked them. So showing a bit of your personality is really, really, really important. Number 3, you develop confidence. So when you start out online, you are a bit clueless. Of course, you're a bit clueless. I was clueless. I didn't know what my brand was. I had no idea what my brand was, but I started and I kept going. And as time went on, I developed confidence. And if you keep working on yourself and working on your brand and understanding yourself, you develop more confidence. So one of the things I did was I just started to post every day, and that was about 3 years ago. I just started posting every single day, and after a while I started to find my voice. I found my voice, and I got more confident. I got sure of what I was saying, and then over time that developed into who I am today, where I am much, much more confident to be in front of the camera. I'm much more confident to post my content and talk about my mission. But I definitely did not start out with that. I had to develop that, and I had to develop more certainty in myself. But one of the easiest ways to do that is, to show up, be visible as your brand. There is no shortcuts. No course is going to show you how to be visible for your brand unless you're willing to step up, feel the fear, and do it anyway. So, when one of the points I wanted to make here is that when you become more confident, when you develop more certainty, when you start to speak your truth and to be less guarded about what you say, you become magnetic. Honestly, you become much, much more magnetic to the right type of client. They can see that basically you're not BSing them. You are giving them the truth, you're telling them as it is, and people are much, much more likely to come and work with you because they know getting in that you're going to be an honorable person. You've showed your values over time, through the content that you put out there, through showing up, through being real. So that developing confidence is really, really important. Number 4, if you have a personal brand which you're developing, being visible is far easier. So as you go along and you're developing confidence, obviously you're getting much more certain. So for instance, I know how to turn up in this group now. I have a formula. Because I've done it. And now it's so much easier to get on camera and talk. I have my blue wall behind me. I have a certain way of speaking. I cover a certain amount. I talk as I am. So it's much easier for me now to become visible. I have the words because I'm used to talking now. I'm used to talking and, for instance, giving my introduction that I'm a business mentor and, that I'm the founder of the Six Figure Stylist program and how that helps you. But the first time, if you asked me to do that 3 years ago, it would have been impossible for me because I didn't have the words, I didn't have the clarity. And that clarity came from turning up online, but it also came from, being visible every day, despite the fear, and developing that confidence. So that's number 4. Becoming visible becomes far, far easier once you're clear on what your brand is. Once you're clear on, this is what I stand for, this is my secret sauce, and this is my mission. So you're looking at those 3 things all the time. Your content is based on that. Your confidence is based on that. Your expertise is based on that. So it's far easier to turn up online. Number 5, you stand out from the crowd and are immediately recognizable when you have a personal brand. I mean, my clients have told me over and over again, the minute I see the blue wall behind you, I know it's you. The minute I see your face, I know it's you. My face is really my brand. Yes, I have brand colors. My accent is my brand. My way of communicating is my brand. So the fact that I'm Irish is my brand. The fact that I was a personal stylist is my brand. So these are all the things that go into making you stand out online. There's nobody else quite like me online. I'm sure of that. And there is nobody else quite like you online either when you start being yourself. When you start being yourself, you're not really competing with anyone because there's no one else like you. they can't be like you because our DNA is different. And God, I can't tell you how much easier it is when you start being yourself, when you start accepting yourself 100% as you are, and knowing that no, everybody's not going to love me. No, everybody's not going to be attracted to me, but there will be loads of people who want to work with me because of who I uniquely am, as I am, without changing anything about myself. So you stand out from the crowd immediately, and you're recognizable the second you start being yourself, speaking like yourself, showing up as like yourself, talking about the things that are important to you, talking about your values, talking about how you can help people in your unique way. Then you stand out immediately. So you don't need big glossies. You don't need, somebody said to me the other day, actually, she was thinking of spending £1,000 or something on a logo. And I said, stop. I don't even have a logo. A logo is not going to get you more clients. What will get you more clients is people knowing how you can help them in your unique way, and that they know, like, and trust you. So you will be the one that will help them. So stop spending a fortune on websites, and stop spending a fortune on glossy images, etc. I'm not saying don't get some professional pictures taken. I get professional pictures taken. Most of the pictures I put online, though, are just taken on my iPhone. I just take a picture of myself and plonk it up there. Yes, I make a concentrated effort to be groomed the majority of the time and to look well. But I also show what I'm like around every day, because I know that all of you, as my audience, do not look the same at home when you're working from home, for instance, and you don't have to, be visible. Oh, I'm drinking sparkling water again, so I have a lot of wind. Okay, number 6, you know what to wear. When you know your personal brand. So this is important for you, but it's especially important for your client, because one of the things that we all struggle with is we have this event coming up. What do I wear? Even I have to think. So I have that TV interview appearance coming up in September, not that very far away. And I was thinking to myself, what will I wear? And I want to show a little bit of my personality, but I also am aware that it's on live TV, and that, I need to show a certain amount of authority. So, and my personal brand is, I'm straight talking, I'm appropriate, I'm reliable, I'm professional, but I'm also relatable. And when I am choosing my outfit, I'll be considering all those things to make sure that the people who are watching me get an immediate sense of who I am and how I can help them. So this is how you explain it to your clients, because oftentimes they won't know that. You have to simplify how you're speaking to people, because my clients are personal stylists, but your clients possibly aren't personal stylists. So you have to really think about who is your audience and what do they need to see from you to feel comfortable. It's all about them feeling comfortable. It's them feeling comfortable when they look at you, that they can take the next step with you. So if I turned up every single time, suited and booted and polished, I don't think it would be quite the same effect as showing people who I really am. And anyways, I don't think I could be as visible as I am if I had to show up suited and booted and polished all the time, because it requires so much effort. So I prefer, to get dressed in the morning. I'm dressed now for the day, and I'll do all my stuff. I can cycle to school in this dress. I can go out for lunch in this dress. I can move in this dress. It's suitable for the climate, but it also works for this work that I'm doing here with you. So helping your clients know what to wear is a huge advantage for them. Really, really, really huge. And when you're comfortable in your clothes, I'm talking to the converted, obviously, because you know exactly what I'm talking about. But even for yourself, knowing your own brand makes it so much easier to know what to wear. because I know what to wear based on my brand. Okay, number 7, you know what content to put out there. When you know your values, when you know what your secret sauce is, when you know what problem you're solving, when you know what colors represent you, when you know who you are, you know, content becomes, I usually have so much to talk about. I usually have so much to talk about. Oftentimes it's in my head and I don't get it onto social media. But I think it's really important to understand that once you get really clear on who you are, once you get really clear on who your brand is, you know, social media content becomes so much easier. Number 8, I'm just coming up to half an hour here, so I'm just conscious that I want to get everything covered. You get hired. So when people know your personal brand and they see it over and over again, and you develop trust with your audience, people will hire you. Oftentimes, you know, I have seen people hundreds and hundreds of times, and somehow in my subconscious, I know they're there. And then when I have a need around that area, I go for those people. I remember their brand colors. I remember the words they used. Sometimes I remember the names, sometimes I don't remember their names. So that's where, you know, the color comes in. That's where the words come in as well. So whether it's by a client or whether it's by a company, you know, having a very clear personal brand helps you to get hired. Because oftentimes we forget that. We forget why we're on social media. We're on social media so that people will hire us to work with them. That's why we're on social media. And every bit of content that we put out there should be working toward that, of getting hired. This is what it's all for at the end of the day. And don't forget that you are doing this for your business, for financial return, for the life that you want for you and your family. And, you know, the clearer you get on your brand, the less time you have to spend on social media. So I post the majority of the time first thing in the morning, and I forget about it for the day because, well, I have other things to do, and because I don't want to spend all my time on social media. So when you're very, very clear in your brand, you're not going around all the time wondering, what should I be posting? What should I be doing? Should I be spending more time? You know, what should I be doing? When you're clear on your brand, it becomes much, much easier. So all of these points I shared with you this morning, you can totally, totally use these with your clients as well. And if you're wondering, well, what do I do now? You've given me all this information on what do I do now. So I do actually have a free 3-day workshop coming up. I haven't done anything free for a while, like I haven't done any challenges for a while or anything like that. So I finally got my act together and decided I'm going to do a free 3-day workshop. And in this 3-free-day workshop, I am going to be helping you to stop procrastinating and put yourself out there. Actually, I've forgotten the name of the 3-day challenge. Let me see, can I find it so that I can tell you what the actual name of the challenge is. I just actually finished the landing page this morning. Before I got on my aqua bike. So the name of the 3-day workshop is called How to Stop Procrastinating, Become Fearlessly Visible, and Start Selling Your High Ticket Offers. So this is going to be a 3-day workshop where I'll be working with you to help you to start becoming more powerfully visible, to becoming more visible without being fearless, because this will be the big difference between getting the right kind of clients and in many cases, no clients. Like I see it so over and over again that personal stylists are really, really struggling to get clients. And it can be such a simple answer. So one of the things that I want you to do is I want you to register for that challenge. I'm going to pop it into the comments here now if I can find us live in the group. If you're listening to this on podcast, because I pop this up in a podcast afterwards, There should be a link around the podcast somewhere. So I'm just going to pop this in here now. Sorry, I didn't see any of the comments up till now, so I'm just seeing them now. So I'm going to pop the landing page link into the comments. So you can actually go in there and register for my 3-day workshop. I keep calling it a challenge because that's what I used to run in the past, but it's not actually going to be a challenge. It's going to be more like a workshop. It's going to be a little bit different to how I usually run it, in that it's going to be based around email, but there will also be a live session with me each day of the actual challenge. So it's just got into the group there now. So if you're watching this on replay, just look in the comments and you'll be able to find the link. If you are watching this on replay, hashtag replay. If you have any questions about what I have been talking about today, I would love you to pop a comment under this post as well. If you think there's anyone else you know that would benefit from this 3-day workshop, please share it with them. This is going to be something that will really, really help you get visible. It's about getting visible and being real, because all the strategies in the world, even if you have the best offer in the world, if you are not being visible, if people don't know about your offer, if they don't know how you're going to help them, they are not going to be buying. And in many cases, it's a numbers game. It's a numbers game for people to see you. Only a small amount of people will opt in, but you need to be getting in front of people to, get the kind of results that you want. So I'm just checking the group now to see if there are any questions. No, I don't see any questions right now. If you have any questions, please do pop them underneath this post. If you're watching it on replay, hashtag replay. And I hope to see you in the workshop. So get yourself in there, get yourself registered. And I can promise you, anyone who has done any of my challenges before, even though this is not a challenge, always come away with a lot of knowledge, a lot of certainty in terms of a way forward. And they get a lot of value from the free work that I provide. So that, they can do something with it. And the reason I provide these free workshops is, of course, to give you a taste of working with me. I'm open and I'm honest that there will be an offer at the end of the 3-day workshop, but I always make it worth people's time to turn up and attend the free events that I provide. So even if you are thinking, I totally don't want to, spend any money on working with Aileen right now, I think you can still hugely benefit from turning up to the workshop. So that's all for me this morning. I have a meeting now and then I'm off out to lunch. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful weekend ahead, and I will catch up with you all again next week. Take care. Bye.